welcome back to another exciting episode of Healthy House Calls with Angel. I am your host, Angel Shannon, founder and executive director of SIVA Health and the SIVA Institute, where everything we do here is all about helping you change your life, not just your symptoms, to help you live longer and live better with lifestyle medicine. Today, I want to share with you what I think is something really important that we're all talking about this time of the year, which is spring and going into summer, and that is decluttering. Now, I know you know why decluttering is so important, but what I want to talk to you about is how clutter may be showing up for you in your life and how it's impacting your health and wellness goals. I want to share a story with you from one of my coaching clients and see if this resonates for you. And if it does, I want to share with you 12 tips for getting over the struggle with decluttering. First and foremost, let me just share with you my story from one of my coaching clients, a dear client of mine, who came to me and said, Angel, I know why I need to exercise. I just can't get started. I know why I need to be meal prepping. I just can't get going. I know why I need to be sleeping better and meditating and doing all these things that you talk about in your newsletter, but I just can't get going. When I do get going, I can't get consistency. I can't get any traction. I really need your help. And so as a coach in lifestyle medicine, what I wanted to investigate first was how was this impacting her life? What was happening for her? What was coming up? What were some of the beliefs that she had? What was her mindset about all of this? And she said, you know what? I just look at other people who have all of these processes in place and they're so successful. This person lost 20 pounds. This person lost 30 pounds. Why isn't that happening for me? Especially when I put in the effort, when I'm spending the money. I have a personal trainer. I've bought I've bought the equipment. I have all the things that people talk about, but what is it that's missing for me? And when I don't see myself losing weight, when I don't see myself shedding any pounds on the scale, I just feel like, what's the point, right? So that was the mindset that she was struggling with. So in addition to doing some of the mindset mastery work that I talk about in my newsletter, which, by the way, if you're not signed up for that newsletter, Healthy House Calls with Angel, you want to get signed up for that newsletter, because what she was referring to was the Monday Mindset Mastery that comes out every Monday. So she was referring to that. And so if you don't get that yet, sign up for that now. HealthyHouseCallsWithAngel.com. It's my Monday newsletter that comes out every single Monday to help us deal with these self-sabotaging thoughts. So in addition to doing some mindset mastery work, I asked her, can we have a look at what your process is? What are your day-to-day procedures? What's your day-to-day process? And let's just take one area of your life that is most important. Because one of the things I say in my coaching is we focus on helping you take your meds, MEDS, mindfulness, exercise, diet, and sleep. We look at those 4 areas of your life: your mindfulness practices, your exercise and movement, your dietary practices, and then your sleep. And let me add another S, your supplements. So that's the process in my coaching. So I said, let's have a look at the mindset piece, the mindfulness piece, and let's look at your exercise, your movement, what you're engaged with. How do you go about that? And what I discovered with my coaching client is, for one thing, she didn't have a process, right? She was expecting progress without having a process. So there's no way we can have progress on our goals if we don't have a process that we implement and that we wash, rinse, and repeat over and over again. We have to have a process to set us up for having progress on our goals. So she didn't have a repeatable, sustainable process. And the reason she didn't have that is because of the clutter that she had in her life. So as a coach, it's important to reverse engineer and do an assessment and see what's happening, what's causing that to happen, and what's causing that to happen, and what's causing that to happen. It's kind of the way engineers think of things. So in this reverse engineering, what we realized is that not only was there a lack of a process, but there was so much clutter in her day-to-day schedule. There was clutter in her day-to-day life. There was clutter in her day-to-day environment that made it just impossible to even have a process. And I'm going to give you an example of how this used to show up in my life. I would want to go to the gym or to a fitness center or yoga or what have you. And I'd make myself all these promises. I'd say, I'm going to go this evening after work. I was counting on getting home from work at a decent hour, getting my bag, and then going to the fitness center or to the yoga studio or what have you. Now, I don't know where you live, but where I live, that is dependent upon getting out of work and not hitting traffic, smooth sailing on the way home, and nothing else going wrong so that that could happen. Well, it never happened. Not only that, it was dependent upon me having the things available to me in the first place, like my gym shoes or my exercise equipment or my exercise clothes. It was dependent on, oh gosh, those, pants needed to be washed or that sweatshirt needed to be washed, and it wasn't. So you can see how things very quickly fall apart when you don't have a process that enables you to make progress because of the clutter in your life. So at the end, I'm going to show you how I solved this problem, not only for myself, but also for my coaching client, and helped her develop a foolproof process in order to start seeing more progress on her goals, and how that shaped up for me. So I want to offer to you in today's video, before you jump into, I'm going to throw this away, I'm going to get rid of this, I'm going to get rid of that. Before you jump into the action of decluttering, I just want you to take a step back and consider 12 important questions that's going to really help you declutter with a purpose and with intention. This is fresh off of my 21-day whole life decluttering challenge that I held in the SIVA Circle, which is my virtual membership community, where we practice all of these lifestyle medicine skills, where we provide support for one another as we're, gaining mastery in these skills. We're working together to achieve some of the most important health and wellness goals that we have in our lives: to build a better brain, to meal prep better, to clean up our plate, maybe to lose a few pounds, maybe even to find our ikigai, our life's purpose, our joyful work. All of it is designed around just living longer and living better in the SIVA Circle. So this is coming fresh off of the 21-day challenge that we just launched a couple of weeks ago in the SIVA Circle. Nevertheless, if you missed our 21-day whole life declutter challenge, we will have another as we get closer to the fall, which is another really good time for letting go and releasing and making space for new things to settle in and grow in our lives. Okay, so let's get started with these 12 clarifying questions. Let's go ahead and jump in. All right, number one. My number one question when I get started with decluttering with a coaching client is I always ask, do you love it? Do you love it? I think love is a very powerful emotion, and it's the easiest place to start. You've heard of the book by Marie Kondo, Sparking Joy, and I think she's right on point with that when she says that if something sparks joy, if you love it, that's a reason maybe to set it aside before you're so quick to get rid of it, to set it aside and say, why do I love this? What is it that brings me joy in this? Why do I want to hold on to this? And we have to be honest about that question. Do we love it? Do you really, really love this thing? Or are you just used to it? Have you had it for so long? It's one of those comfy things that brings you comfort, and you're holding on to it from a place of guilt or obligation. So this question about, does it spark joy? Do you love it? You have to be honest with yourself. Is it from a place of guilt or obligation? Something that, someone says you should hold on to, it's a family heirloom, that kind of thing. you just want to go a little bit deeper in your journal practice about what it is that sparks that joy, that excitement, that lights you up when you, think about that item or when you see that item. And be aware of the trade-off and the reality that keeping an item you love might mean rather than letting it go. In other words, if we love everything, oh, I love this, and I love this, and I love this, and I love this, if we love everything, we're not going to let anything go. So it's important that we be very realistic about the trade-off of loving something and holding on to it. So that's number one. Number two, do I use it? Do I use it? And again, these are 12 clarifying questions that come out of my recent ebook as well as my 21-day Declutter Your Life challenge. Do I use it? Who doesn't have a collection of just in case things, right? Oh, I'm going to hold on to this just in case I need that. Kitchen gadgets, unread books, workout gear, all collecting dust in the corner. Shoes, boots, sweaters. Oh my gosh, I'm going to hold on to this sweater because we may have another cold winter, right? But if you haven't used something in months or years, right, you have to really decide maybe it's time to let that go. Instead of holding on to things for a hypothetical future, focus on what supports your life today in the here and now. I'll give you a perfect example from my life. I've got a lot of sweaters, heavy sweaters that I wore maybe 10 years ago or so. That was before perimenopause and hot flashes and things like this. Chances are I am not ever going to wear these really, really thick sweaters again. Furthermore, as I think about the places that I travel to, when I think about my downsizing and retirement plans, I'm not going to move someplace where it's super cold and I'm going to need a sweater that's 3 inches thick. I can probably let those things go. And another point to this is my winters where I live here in Maryland are pretty reasonable and they're pretty short in the grand scheme of things. I don't necessarily need to have very, very thick sweaters. I don't really need to have very, very thick sweaters. So I can probably let those go, right? So that's question number two. Question number three, do I have more than one? Do I have more than one? If you have more than one thing, 5 of these kinds of brushes or 5 of these kinds of sponges or 5 of these exact same boots, it might be time to let some of those things go. Do you really need 3 sets of measuring cups or 5 black sweaters just in case? And a lot of us think of this as like backup, right? Like, oh, I'm going to hold on to this because it's backup. Well, it's backing up, all right. It's backing up a whole lot of your process and progress. So that's another, a clarifying question number 3 is, do I have more than one? Okay. Next, question number 4, can it be replaced if I need it? Now, this is a really good one that a lot of my coaching clients really like. I ask them to apply the 20-20-20 declutter rule, and you may have heard of this before. That rule is, if I suddenly need this item again, can I get it in less than 20 days, 20 minutes, or $20, right? So if you go through that little checklist and you say, this is easy to replace, I can go get some measuring cups if I need some measuring cups, probably less than $20. I can let this 3rd and 4th set of measuring cups go. If it's, again, if I can go to the dollar store or, another discount place to easily replace something if I need it, that's probably a really good reason to let that go. So when I go through that question with my coaching clients, usually they're saying, absolutely yes, Angel, I can let this go. I can easily let this go. They'll say that because they know that they can replace it very simply. Okay. Next question, number 5. How does it serve me? Oh boy, this is a really important decluttering question. How does it serve me? Does this item add value to my life or is it just taking up space? When I go through this question with my coaching clients, and even when I go through it with myself during my seasonal decluttering, I look at each thing and I ask, how does it serve me? Because let's be honest, a lot of times we have a lot of gadgets, especially in the kitchen, that we really loved. It was a beautiful color that came out of this serving pot or this Dutch oven. Oh my gosh, I always wanted the purple or the blue or the whatever the color is. But did we really need it? Do we have 4 Dutch ovens already, right? How does it serve you? How does it add to your daily life? Does it serve a purpose? Everything, I think, in our lives should serve ultimately some sort of purpose. Aside from us loving it and liking it and sparking joy, does it serve a purpose? Is it there just collecting dust, or is it there just to be there? Or is it serving some real purpose in our lives? So that's a really good question to go deeper with in your journal practice, and just before you, as you start your own decluttering. Okay. Number 6, will I wear it or use it again? Oh gosh. When was the last time you used that fancy kitchen gadget or that additional item that you purchased, that small kitchen appliance? If you haven't reached for it in over a year, chances are you won't. Wishful thinking isn't a good enough reason to keep something around. Maybe it's just not part of your lifestyle anymore. Maybe you were really into, let's just say, baking at one time, and your life just isn't set up for a whole lot of like baking or uh, you know, you know, the thing that you bought that for, or cooking even. Maybe you're just into smaller meals now. Maybe you're not cooking for a big family anymore. So that's a really important question to ask yourself. Number 6, will I wear it or use it again? That's a great way to say, you know what? I'm not in that space anymore. I'm not doing those things anymore. That's not important to me anymore. Yes, when I had a big family, I really needed this piece of equipment, but I don't really need this anymore. We can donate those things to maybe a person who has a small family and they are cooking, bigger meals or things like this. So that's number 6. Will I wear it or use it again? Let's move on to question 7. This is important. Is it the best quality or best version? Now, here's something that I really deeply believe in. I believe in buying things I believe in sustainable shopping. I believe in buying things that will stand the test of time so that we're not buying those things over and over and over again. Sometimes they can be a little bit more on the expensive side, but depending on what it is, you don't want to be buying these things over and over again. And I'm thinking about mixers and blenders and juicers and things that are you're going to be using repeatedly, especially for those of you who are in the world of lifestyle medicine and you are making investments for your health and well-being. You want to buy that once, maybe twice. You don't want to go on that low end so often that you're replacing this thing over and over and you're not getting the best quality experience. 2 places where that shows up is in food and nutrition and in exercise. If you want a good quality nutritious juice, it's going to require investing in a quality juicer. Same goes for blenders. If you want to get that really good blended experience, a good motor, something that's not going to start smoking and catch on fire, you want to make those investments. And so this is a good time to ask that question when you're in your decluttering process is this really the best version of something? Can I let this go? Can I discard it, let it go, and then invest in something that's good quality that I don't have to buy this again? Is when it comes to clothing, it's the same thing. Did I just buy this on impulse because it's really pretty, but look, the fabric isn't really well made. I sweat when I wear it. It doesn't flatter, my posture or my shape for where I am now in my life. Maybe I can let this go. Things that have, clothing obviously that has stains, it's fading, it's shrinking. Even if it is comfortable, maybe it doesn't allow you to represent yourself in the way that you want to be represented. So, and sometimes those items can be hard to go because we have broken them in. They are comfortable. We don't want to let them go. All right, so that's another question. Is this the best quality or best version of what it is that I have? And if not, can I let it go? If you're holding on to older or lower quality versions just because you feel guilty getting rid of them, remind yourself that keeping only the best can only elevate your style, your experience, and your appearance, okay? You know, the ladies who've gone on retreat with me, you know I always talk about design the life you deserve. You deserve beautiful things. You deserve quality things, even if it means that you just have to save up for a little while to have those things, okay? Better that than something that's falling apart, breaking apart, not giving you the best experience. You know, there are thousands of things we can name that apply to that, okay? So that's question number 7. Number 8, here's an important one. What will it cost to maintain it? What will it cost to maintain it? That's a big question because every item that we have in our homes, in our lives, requires some degree of maintenance. We have to clean it, we have to store it, we have to organize it, we have to repair it. So at some point, this becomes about not just only decluttering, but simplifying our lives, being a little bit more financially savvy and frugal, and saying, gosh, if I have 4 computers or 4 televisions or 5 of this, what does it cost to repair all those things, to store all of those things? I mean, if it's gotten to the point with some of the stuff we have that we have to rent out a storage unit to store the things that we have that we're not using, that's a big red flag. You know, that's a big red flag. So some things cost more than money. Some things even cost your time. You know, if we've got a lot of figurines that require dusting or a lot of, you know, things that require maintenance, think about all of the time that goes into maintaining the stuff that we have, time that could better be used with a 10-minute walk or 10-minute meditation or taking a class or learning a new skill, right? So things cost more than just money. They also cost time. Question number 9, does it have sentimental value? Now, this goes back to the beginning where we're talking about what we love, okay? So if it has some sort of sentimental value, it can be hard to part with. But one of the ideas that I've given some of my coaching clients is here's where having small memento boxes can be helpful. You know, keep your items, you know, that piece of jewelry or the watch or what have you in a memento box. Even if it's a larger item, you can get memento trunks that you keep, you know, one trunk that limits the storage space that you keep those really special items stored in. So if you feel like you really have got to keep the item, there's a way to store things and preserve things. But here's another idea. If you don't have the storage space, maybe taking a beautiful picture of yourself holding that item and, you know, framing that picture and just being able to look back on it and reflect on it. That's another idea to keep the experience of that thing alive without necessarily having that thing take up space and create more clutter in your life. Okay, that was question number 9. Let's get to question number 10. Am I keeping it out of fear? Am I afraid of letting this go because of a what if scenario, right? What if I need it in the future? Does it fit my current lifestyle? Is this aligned with who I am and how I live right now? Very, very important question. Very important question for those of you who are in the world of lifestyle medicine, to live longer and live better, to change your life, not just your symptoms. This is a really important question that you want to dive into. Does it fit my current lifestyle? And because not only are you talking about your current lifestyle, but you're talking about your future lifestyle, because all of this is about growth. It's about, you know, you may be in your 40s now, but you'll be in your 50s soon. If you may be in your 50s soon, you'll be in your 60s soon. You know, you may be in your 50s now, you may be in your 60s soon. So it's about building toward the person you are also becoming. the day is going to come that you're going to have to downsize from perhaps the home where there's 3 flights of steps to go up and down, right? The home that you raise children in, or so, maybe too large of a home when you're, getting up in age. So it's also about thinking about your future self, your present self, but also your future self. So there are a couple more questions. I want you to grab these questions on my clarifying questions worksheet, okay? I want you to get the full ebook that helps you declutter with purpose and with intention and with focus. So I went through the bulk of the questions. There are a couple more that I think you will find very fascinating if you investigate those and go deeper before you go into your decluttering process. Because what I want to share with you as we close out this session together, this video together, I want to show you how I helped her, my coaching client, get a process in place so that she could have progress on her health goals. And I'm going to show you my own system, which I duplicated for her. So first and foremost, you want to look at your equipment, right? And you want to set yourself up for success. Now, this is a duffel bag that I purchased for myself because I wanted to be intentional about getting to the gym. I didn't want to get delayed in traffic. I didn't want to get to the fitness center without the proper equipment. I wanted to be able to always get to the fitness center no matter where I am. Now, I want to say this. I haven't always been a gym person. In fact, I never really liked gyms, to be perfectly honest with you. But at the age and stage that I am now, I realize that movement and fitness is crucial to my mental health, my well-being, to longevity. I do a lot of longevity research, and I have a newfound appreciation and awareness for movement and making time at the fitness center. And so when I was looking for a fitness center, I wanted to find a place that had everything that's important to me: yoga and swimming and classes and equipment to work on building muscle and resistance training, and a fun community of people like me who aren't necessarily looking for, to have the beach bod, but really see movement and fitness as a lifestyle as opposed to just a singular goal. So that being said, I found the perfect fitness center for me that achieves all of those, checks off all of those boxes. And what I did was I researched the perfect bag for that lifestyle. So here it is. It's lightweight, it's easy to clean. And what I love about it is I can get everything in my bag that I need. Of course, my little carrier to put my locker key in. This makes it really easy to keep my cell phone in just in case I, need to take a call. Also has a handy pocket here for me to put my earbuds in. And here is my key for my lock, so I can just set that up. And this is really easy. I just keep everything right here in my little bag. So once I'm in my fitness center, I put this around and I'm good to go. I don't have to look for a place. Oh my gosh, I don't know where to put my phone, all that kind of thing. So that's that. It's got plenty of space. I keep this packed with my towel, and I keep it packed obviously with my swimsuit. And I also keep another swimsuit as backup because just in case it's chilly. This one is a little bit thicker. This one has sleeves, so I really like that one. So that was my second swimsuit. I always keep my pants and my t-shirt, available. So anytime I go to the fitness center, I wear what's in my bag, and then when I get home, I swap out for my next set of pants and my next t-shirt. Of course, I've got my socks, and I also keep all of my swimming gear in here as well. So I keep my swim goggles, and I keep my swim cap that's in here. Everything, as you can see, is already set and ready to go. Now, you may say, what about, how do you change all those kinds of things? Because I sometimes want to be able to go to the fitness center first thing in the morning. I keep my little toiletry kit in here. Again, all of this stuff fits right in here. So in my toiletry kit, which I'll open up and show you, I keep all of my toiletries so that when wake up, I can head straight to the fitness center. I can shower and then I can get here to the office or get to work wherever I need to be. If I've got a speaking engagement or somewhere else, I literally can go straight away from the fitness center straight to work with no delay. Now, you're going to ask, Angel, what else do you love about that bag? Well, I am glad that you asked, because the best thing about this bag, and the reason I purchased it, I'm going to just zip this up, and as you can see, it's got a nice strong zipper, so this is really cool. It fits up this way upright in my locker. Here is the thing, ladies and gentlemen, that I really, really love about this bag. I never have to worry about not having my proper shoes, because at the bottom I can store not only my shower shoes to come in and out of the pool area, I can also store my running shoes. So my running shoes are always, always, always in my bag. I easily zip this up right at the bottom, and I keep this bag in the back of my car at all times so that I can be ready to go to the fitness center, grab my bag, and I'm off to the races. Okay? So what I want to share with you, and basically what I'm saying in this, is decluttering and going through this, what do I not need, so that I can figure out what I do need, and creating a process is how we get to having progress, especially in the area of fitness goals. So for those of you who feel like you're really struggling to get to the fitness center in the first place, to figure out, a process, I want you to start thinking about a decluttering challenge for yourself to figure out what you need less of, what you need more of, how you can clear out space in your home and in your environment for making access to the things that you need readily accessible, whether it's meal prep, whether it's cooking, whether it's getting to the fitness center. In every area of your life, let's start thinking about making the goal simplification. When we declutter, we make our lives much simpler than they already are. Okay? So this is the season for decluttering with a purpose. I hope that these clarifying questions have been helpful for you. Again, you can get the rest of the ebook, my guide, Declutter Your Life. This includes a lot of the journal prompts that we did throughout the decluttering challenge, 21-day whole life decluttering challenge. You can challenge yourself and pace yourself if you'd like to do that in community with other women who are at the same stage in life of simplifying, of putting in a process so that they can have progress in their lives. Come on over and join us in the Siva Circle. It's thesivacircle.com. Click on that link and come on over and try us out. You get your first 2 weeks free. You can see who we are and get a sense of what we do in the Siva Circle. And I know you're going to love it, because there's so much to love about learning new skills in company with people who are struggling with some of the same things that you may be struggling in, and having that space to ask questions and get answers and get support from a community of like-minded individuals. So I hope this has been helpful for you. Be sure to like and subscribe to this channel. Be sure to like this content, because it just helps bring more of like science-driven, evidence-based driven lifestyle medicine into your own feed. It helps tell the powers that be that we in this world want more of this kind of information on our streams. And the other thing is too, it tells me that what you want more of as well. It helps me to develop more programs and more information that is helpful and practical for you. So be sure to like this video. That gives me the knowing that, hey, we're on the right track over here at Siva Health. And make sure to subscribe to the channel so that you're getting updates on when new videos come out. I'm always pulling from my life and pulling from my practice and my coaching world to give you real life examples and just to let you know that you are not alone in this process of simplifying your life and changing your life, not just your symptoms. All right. So hope this has been good for you. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and finally, make sure that you sign up for the newsletter, healthyhousecallswithangel.com. Comes out every Monday and every Wednesday with tips, tools, and strategies that you need to live longer and live better. All right? Take good care, be well, be good to yourself, and never, ever, ever, ever be afraid to be amazing. Take good care. Bye-bye.